Your higher self is actually ready to go to war for you at any time or any moment. Our higher self is like our guardian. So a lot of times we're thinking about guardian angels, we're thinking about spirit guides and spiritual forces, and we're not often thinking about the fact that our higher self is our guardian angel and our higher self is our spirit guide. Our higher self at any point is ready to show us the road, show us the path to our destiny. And so if you're feeling like you lack purpose, you lack direction, you're not in touch with your spiritual gifts, you're not in touch with your destiny, this is because there is a disconnection between you and your higher self. So our higher self can do various things for us. For one, it shows us things that we cannot see with our physical eyes. So when it comes to spiritual gifts like clairvoyance, when it comes to psychic abilities and things like that, this comes through our higher self and our higher self's ability to see spiritual things that we cannot see in the physical. Our higher self can also clean up our aura and our energy field. Our higher self basically comes through as a very powerful, like light force energy that can clear out and banish all types of shadows in our energy. I kid you not. Like once your higher self manifests, shit starts running. Things that no, it ain't have no business in your energy field, it start running and hiding. I kid you not. And so this is why we do in my spiritual practice what we call like Ori veneration, where we actually venerate our higher self. We call our higher self in on a daily basis. We give praise and worship to our higher self. We have altars to our higher self. This is because your higher self is a force. Something else to know about your higher self as well is that it is not limited to human form. Okay, so if you're looking for your higher self to like look like you but bigger, that is limiting. That could be something that's limiting your connection with your higher self, because your higher self actually can be non-human. You can have non-human versions of your higher self. You can have higher self versions of you that are animals. You can have higher self versions of you that are elemental bodies, like bodies of water, trees, wind. Your higher self can take many forms. So in order to connect with your higher self, think bigger. Okay, don't think small, don't think human, think beyond human, right? And this is also a very good time for us to go ahead and drop our affirmation. So our affirmation for today is, I am always walking in the power of my higher self. Ashe, ashe, so shall it be. Something else to know when it is coming to our higher self is that your higher self has to be activated on a daily basis, because your higher self actually exists on a different dimensional plane. Your higher self is connected to this vessel in this physical body, yes, but your higher self is not just this physical body. So actually, sometimes we will see our higher self in animal form around us. So you may see a whole bunch of birds. You may see cats very often. You may see spiders. You may have real connections to like water and fire. And this is because your energy, your essence, which is your higher self, right, is connected to these other forces. And so if we want to call in our higher self, we can connect to other forces, other energies, connecting to animals, connecting to the earth and the land to pull our higher self more and more in on a daily basis. Spirit also just told me to tell everybody that your higher self loves music. Your higher self loves rhythm. So if you want to call your higher self in, work with music, work with sound, work with instruments, work with movement. We have to always remember that spirit is a moving force. Spirit and energy is alive. It's always moving. Just imagine light particles always in motion. That is your higher self. And so if you're thinking that you need to sit still for your higher self to come in, that's not true. You can access your higher self through dancing, through walking, through singing, rapping, poetry, etc. Your higher self loves rhythm. And then your higher self also loves smells. So working with aromatherapy, working with incense, we have to create rituals to call our higher self in. We have to think of it like mating rituals, how we see out in the wild where birds have to do a little dance for their mate, right? It's the same way with our higher self. We have to, sing some songs, we got to play some music, we got to light some candles, make it smell real nice and good for our higher self to come through. And once our higher self begins to manifest, it walks with us. It forms an energetic shield of light around us. And that's actually what we are missing. If you're experiencing a lot of warfare and you feel like that warfare is kicking your ass, it's because your higher self is not close enough to you. Your higher self is not walking the path with you. So you need to start calling your higher self in. If you need assistance in contacting your higher self, this is something that I can do in a reading, where I actually can call in your higher self, and your higher self will give me the remedies, exactly the scents that your higher self likes, the smells, the sounds, the music, except the colors, because your higher self like colors too. So whatever your higher self likes, we can figure that out in a reading, and you will be tapped in with them based on the recipe that they give you, right? And then if you like deeper teachings like this one that I have here, you want to learn more about the laws and the workings of magic, I would highly suggest you join the Patreon. There is just a year's worth of lectures on the Patreon dealing with magic, dealing with the spiritual realm, and dealing with spirits, right? So I hope to see you in a reading, which will be performed live over Zoom, on the Patreon, or simply on the next YouTube video. Peace and bliss. Ashe.